Coming up on this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society, we let Mario win so he doesn't feel bad. When you jump, press up to stab. So the Nintendo Cartridge Society presses up to stab with you. Welcome to Nintendo Cartridge Society. My name is Patrick Ellers, and I am joined, as I'm always joined, by my co-host, Mark Mitchell. We have got a good show for you today. We're going to be talking about the news from the week, and then on Thursday, we are adding to our third-party wish lists. But Mark, in the meantime, how's it going?
It's going great. You know, this Zelda 2 quote that we started with is interesting because it, acknowledges the artificiality of the world.
Because you are pressing up to stab.
Yeah, like an NPC is telling Link, canonically, to jump. But when you jump, press up to stab. And Link's like, what do you mean?
Well, I know.
Press what up?
No, I mean, press up with your sword.
Ah.
You could also, it works two ways is what I'm saying.
I see. I don't know that it. Oh, yeah, I could. Okay.
I mean, he doesn't say, press a button.
Yeah, that's right.
To stab.
Uh-huh.
He says press up, which is what he is, it's an odd way to describe it, I'll give you that. But no, it is clearly talking to the player. Press up to. Although when you make Link jump, press up and he will stab up. Let's just rewrite it.
Yeah. Finally.
Finally, someone has the courage to rewrite Zelda 2. Zelda 2, I gotta say, still coming through in a big way for us.
Oh, completely agree.
If you would like to support us in the same way that Zelda 2 is supporting us, but possibly with money, you can head over to patreon.com/Nintendo Cartridge Society, where if you're supporting us at the 8 or 16-bit levels, you get access to our once-a-month episodes of miniseries like NCS at the Movies.
Yes, where Patrick and I, and most of the time, a special guest, are going to the movies in theaters and then talking about them. Last year, we had a whole string of episodes, a ton of fun, starting in July and going through November. Then we had a special one in December.
You don't have to recount, I don't think, every step of if you don't want to. I mean, I'm happy to sit here and let you do it.
You're right. No, it's a good note. It's a good note.
But you can head on over to Patreon. You can see what we've got available for you there. There are also miniseries available at the free level and at the 4-bit level, like NCS Detective Club, NCS Goes Broadway, NCS Arcade, all fun miniseries that you can check out. We will be putting out a January episode, we believe, this weekend, and we are still kind of circling what exactly that's going to look like. But it's going to be good.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be good. If you would like to but join us on Discord, you can. All you got to do is email us, Nintendo Cartridge Society at gmail.com, and we will invite you in to the Discord. You chit-chat with us about games, about directs, about, whatever is going on in the world of Nintendo. It's us. It's a bunch of other people that listen to the show and are passionate about Nintendo stuff. All right, Mark, anything else before we get into what we've been playing this week?
No, let's do it.
So we both have been playing a little bit of stuff for other things.
Yeah, that's right.
So let's start just with what you've been playing, Mark.
Yes, well, one of the other things that I have been is this thing. The other thing is this thing.
Right.
Just in the future. In February, we haven't talked about this yet. In February,
I understand what you're saying now. It took me a while to wrap my head around what you were saying.
In February,
yes,
we are going to be celebrating Resident Evil by doing a Resident Evil month.
Woo!
You know, with Resident Evil Requiem releasing at the end of the month, and we're going to be talking about Resident Evil every week through the month of February. And so to prepare for that, I've been playing Resident Evil Remake.
Yeah.
On my Switch too, but originally released for Switch. Yeah. Originally released for GameCube.
There we go. And I remember playing this game all the way back on the GameCube when it was originally released.
Yeah, I owned it on the GameCube, and I am trying to think of the last time that I played it, because I could have sworn that I bought it on the Switch, but I very clearly did not, because I had to buy it in order to play it So I'm honestly not sure. It's been interesting to go back to,
Yeah,
just because we're so many years removed from that like classic style of Resident Evil.
totally.
And Resident Evil 4, 5, 6, they all moved to like a much more action oriented one. Um
Well, and the distance in time between when the remake came out and now is way longer than the time between the original and the remake.
so it's just, I'm gonna be honest, I'm having a little bit of a hard time
Here we go.
getting into it
Yeah.
because it is so deliberately paced.
Mhm.
Like, it is survival horror in a way that like the series just isn't anymore. You play like the Resident Evil 2 remake, and that game is like all action oriented. Like, it feels like
Right.
modern Resident Evil.
It's still scary, and you still have to like manage your inventory stuff, but yeah, not nearly in the same way that
Yeah, the original Resident Evil is slow. It is, like, especially in the opening hours of the game,
Yeah.
you're just kind of like wandering into rooms. Maybe there's one zombie there, and like one zombie is scary
Right.
because you don't have a lot at your disposal.
Mhm.
Anyways, it's just kind of been like a wake up call to me because it's been so long since I have played this flavor of Resident Evil.
I wonder if they're ever going to get around to remaking Resident Evil 1 again.
Right, remake the remake.
Remake the remake or remake the original again, like that's okay. It's so like Resident Evil, the original Resident Evil is one of those games that I have like purchased and played so many times, right? Where it's like when it originally came out with that like strange graphic of like Chris, and there's like a shadow of a spider in the background, and he's holding some like huge like gun, and then like the director's cut after that, and maybe there was even like an interim one where it was like director's cut but with like dual stick controls too, and then this remake. And I played all of these things, and I love them all to some extent. But like you, have not played the Resident Evil 1 in any form in years and years and years and years.
It is interesting that they have not remade it.
Yeah.
Like, that they started with 2 and have left 1 just kind of
Yeah.
like this relic. It's kind of fun in some ways to go back to it because it is like, I don't know what release the one on Switch is, like if it's the same one that you'd play on PS3 or like PC today
Yeah,
or
sure.
anything. Excuse me. But the Switch one, I mean, it just looks and feels like a GameCube game in
sure.
widescreen.
Yeah.
Like the opening cutscene, the music, it's like an action sequence in there running through the woods and everything, but the music is all synth. It's just like, it's such a relic of its time. Everything has that like plasticine GameCube look.
Totally.
And so that is kind of like fun to go back to. But yeah, I am struggling with the opening hours of Remake.
Very good. The game that I am playing for something else actually is an other thing and not this thing. I'm playing Fire Emblem Awakening because I am participating in the Super NPC Games Club on that topic on that game, Fire Emblem Awakening. We're playing like a couple chapters every week and talking about it over there on their Patreon. If you are interested in hearing me talk about the beginning of the game, the first episode is available for free on the Super NPC Games Club feed and on the Video Games of Comedy Club, or Video Games of Comedy Show feed there. And I'm on it with friends of the show, Jeremy Schmidt, Connor McCabe, July Diaz, and then Roxy Polk and Kristen Thorson are also on there as well. We will get them on our show at some point, I'm sure. But Mark, I just got to say, I have always loved Fire Emblem Awakening, and playing through it now, I'm like, oh yes, this is one of my games. Like, I feel so at home and safe, and I'm having so much fun playing it.
When you're playing it this time, are you deliberately trying to play it differently than you have previously?
So I'm playing as a male Robin, and when I played it previously, I was a female Robin. So already from the jump, playing it differently because my romance options are totally reversed now. And I'm also playing on hard mode, and of course permadeath on because I like to play with consequences. And I really, really like getting like late into a fight, losing one guy and being like, he was the sacrifice that was necessary to make it through this level. That's one of my favorite things. I mean, once I get a couple more chapters in, I'm 5 chapters in right now, and once I get a couple more in, I will be far enough into the game where like I don't remember what was going on in the game, originally. So yeah, I don't. Will I be able to make those kind of choices consciously? I don't think so. But yeah, having a great time with that, and we'll be talking more about that on the Super NPC Games Club show. Other stuff I've been playing, Mark. I did pick up that Dragon Quest VII reimagined demo, and I have been playing it. I've put about a little over 3 hours into it and I have not yet finished it. It's a long demo, a nice meaty demo, and it rocks. Like I'm so excited about the graphical changes to it, and game seems like pretty speedy and fun. And like I know this is just like what Dragon Quest is, but I'm so delighted by, encountering a town, being introduced to like the problem and the story around this town, experiencing that little narrative, and being totally satisfied by what happens narratively. Then there's like a nice little twist at the end, and you're like, oh. And I felt a little bit, and it's just like that's what Dragon Quest does so well. Of being like, on today's episode of Dragon Quest VII, we are experiencing this story, and just taking in that whole thing.
What is the structure of the demo? Does it start you from the beginning of the game? And so are you
it's a carry your progress forward demo.
That makes sense. So you're like meeting party members, and how are they? Are you enjoying the mix of characters so far?
They are a little bit unremarkable right now. So, your mute protagonist doesn't really have a personality. And then like the first party member you meet is sort of an arrogant prince who is also like an adventuring type. So like a little bit of like a Han Solo style guy, but like not really learning anything super deep about him. And then like a girl from your village who also seems like kind of cookie cutter in personality. So no, not really building them up yet as like interesting party members, but maybe that'll change. Yeah, like right now, I feel like it's just introducing the world and this like first, the drama of this first town that you go to, and I'm really like this has become a like day one purchase for me.
Yeah, that's really fun. I have this one pre-ordered, but I have decided I'm not going to play the demo. Focusing on other things right now. But yeah, I'm glad to hear you're enjoying it. When I was over at your house this past week, you had it on, and
yes,
just the music was playing, and it got me in the Dragon Quest kind of mood.
It's funny to me that both Dragon Quest and Fire Emblem as series have these like just fanfares that are in every game, that like the second that you hear them, they're like, okay, this is a Fire Emblem. Okay, totally. This is a Dragon Quest. But they're both also so like comforting in that way, just to know I'm back home again. Other stuff I've been playing, I continue to chip away at Super Mario Galaxy to try and get all 120 stars. Although I encountered a like purple coin challenge, one of those like collect 100 coins, where I was just like, I don't know. It was just like a little bit harder than I wanted it to be, and so I started to feel annoyed by it. And that's never how I want to be while playing Mario Galaxy. So I don't know. I the second I get annoyed, I turn it off, and then it's just such a good like I've got 10 minutes to like get 1 star in Galaxy. It's kind of the perfect thing. And then Marvel Cosmic Invasion, I actually got online and was playing a little bit of this with Kyle from the Discord yesterday. So we were playing online together. And because you just like start a room, randos can join the room and just like be playing alongside you. Fun to play Marvel Cosmic Invasion with a buddy and with like randos popping in.
How does that work when you open a room? Is it like the person who opens it, it's their progression through the game? that everybody is following,
So
or like?
we were playing in arcade mode, which is just from the beginning
Oh,
anyway.
okay,
So
okay.
yeah, and I don't really know how that would work in story mode, but it was cool. Like I got to see people playing as characters that I haven't unlocked yet. And using like different color schemes that I also have not unlocked
That's
yet.
fun.
So, and just like everything, it's remarkable when you're playing online that like, oh yeah, this is probably just what this person does is play this game online all day because they know where everything is and like they know exactly where to be, at the beginning of like a boss fight or whatever. Which is kind of cool to observe that sort of thing. All right, Mark, that's what we've been playing this week. Let's get into the new releases and what we might be playing next week.
All right, let's check in on Nintendo Music first. And this week's release is The Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass.
Yeah, your favorite.
Yes, of the DS Zelda games. That's right. It is, in fact, my favorite. I don't really remember the soundtrack from this one that much. I think Spirit Tracks has the like more memorable soundtrack, but
At the very least, it has the more memorable like title
Theme,
screen
yeah.
theme. Yeah.
But I'm definitely gonna check this one out.
Yeah, a fun one, and like the DS Zelda games feel like they with every passing year that they're just like more of a distant memory that we're just culturally forgetting.
Yeah.
And part of that is that like there's no virtual console way to play them. There's no Nintendo Classics way to play them. And even when they were on the Wii U virtual console, you had to do that strange like split between the tablet and the TV to play them because they're so heavily touch based.
And you had to own a Wii U.
And you had to own a Wii U, which I did. And I have both those games on my Wii U.
Yeah.
But yeah, that like, and they made the insane choice to never sell those games on 3DS, right? Like you couldn't buy it digitally.
Right.
So it just, yeah, they feel like they're very locked in the amber of the DS.
No, it's true. I mean, I kind of feel that way about Toon Link in general.
Oh,
where it's been how many years since Wind Waker HD? Like outside of showing up in
yeah, like 12 years maybe.
Yeah, like outside of
Maybe more.
showing up in Smash Brothers, like being continually included in Smash Brothers. It's just been a while since Toon Link was an ongoing concern, and yeah, I've it's just like in Back to the Future, it's just kind of like fading from the image.
Right. Toon Link and Star Fox. These are the two things that need to come back. And Tingle Games.
Yeah, other new releases for the week. I'm very excited. On Thursday, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is released on Switch. I have this preloaded on my system, all like 90 gigabytes of it or whatever it is.
It's a huge game.
I don't know if it's that much, but it's
I
a
think
lot.
it is. It's enormous.
It's really big.
Yeah, I'm so excited for you to play this because I've been obsessed with the Final Fantasy VII period for 30 years. But the remake series I think is genuinely like a special thing that they are doing with this existing game. So you were able to get a copy of Final Fantasy VII for free with the remake?
Yeah, that's right.
With the pre-order?
Yeah.
It's my understanding
both for like $40.
Yeah, pretty great. It's my understanding that you couldn't open the version of it that came as like part of your pre-order.
I think that's true. I saw
released,
that it's downloaded, and so I haven't tried opening it, but I suspect that's true because when it finished downloading, it was like will unlock when like it becomes available or something like that.
So weird.
Yeah,
because like might it be fun to play the original while you're waiting for the new one to come out?
Right.
Yeah, probably, but
yeah, no, I'm really excited for this, and I think I obviously am going to continue to play Resident Evil Remake, and I think it'll be fun to have like each to go like to switch between when I get kind of like frustrated with Resident Evil Remake, which I really think is going to be the
just
the
over
way
and
of
over
things.
again.
Yeah.
It's so interesting also that like in a lot of ways you're just like swimming in PlayStation 1 games.
No,
but,
it's
like,
true.
new
so
versions of them.
Yeah. And then also on Thursday, Dynasty Warriors Origins is released, and this has just something I was reading today. It has two modes. One that's like the you can, I think the standard mode is it locks the frame rate at 30 frames per second, and then there is also a performance mode or something that allows you to unlock it, and so it's variable between like the target is 60 frames per second, but it sounds like it's more between like 40 and 50.
Yeah, sure.
I just think it's interesting when games include modes like that.
Yeah, well, and especially for something like a Dynasty Warriors game, which is always going to be trying to put more characters on the screen, right?
Right.
That maybe that flexibility is a good thing. Both those games, by the way, are coming out on Switch 2 specifically, not on Switch 1. There's really nothing coming out on Switch 1 as far as I'm concerned that we would want to talk about.
The only thing maybe is like, and it's not even, I mean, it's new DLC for Cult of the Lamb.
Sure.
The Woolhaven DLC. That's releasing this Thursday as well. But no, you're right. Otherwise, I don't think that there is anything particularly notable for Switch this week.
Unless you want to get Ebola Village. What's happening on the Nintendo eShop? Yeah, I mean, just wanted to sort of put a pin in the, like, you know, obviously the update to Animal Crossing New Horizons was available on Switch 1 as well last week. But yeah, it just kind of seems like stuff releases around the original Switch are really slowing to a crawl.
You didn't bring it up, and so which is totally fine if it turns out to be the case. But did Sarah check out the 3.0 update or anything?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
I mentioned it to her on Sunday, and she said, yeah, but then I had to figure that all out. I was like, hey,
fair
enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough, man. And then she played Dr. Mario for a while.
Yeah.
It's like, great. You never want video games to feel like homework. And,
it's true.
She was just voicing that. So, all right, Mark, let's get out of the new releases. Which brings us to a regular segment on our show. It's time for 433. In 1952, American composer John Cage wrote a piece called 433, wherein a performer or a group of performers did not play their instruments for 4 minutes and 33 seconds. For the purposes of this show, our instruments are talking about Nintendo, so for the duration of 1 performance, 433, Mark and I will talk about something not at all Nintendo related, thus fulfilling the contract of the piece. Mark, you've posed a question here for us. The question, of course, is Hungry Hungry Hippos. Is it fun?
Well, I feel like it's Hungry Hungry Hippos is a type of game where I think it is fun, but it's fun for a very short amount of time.
It's fun, like, right. It's fun because it's noisy. And there's like a spectacle to it. In some ways, it feels like
there's a certain amount of chaos.
There's a certain amount of chaos. But, you know, it's kind of like it doesn't matter what your skill level is. Like, you're just pushing that button as fast as you can to make the hippos chomp as fast as they can.
Yeah.
It feels very much like the game Mousetrap or the old game Grape Escape. Do you remember Grape Escape?
Is that the one that does like I think I remember the commercial.
Of course you do. Yeah, they're like it was like dun 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 dun.
Make
dun,
them take them to the factory.
Yeah, mash them, smash them. Now they're history.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you remember. A lot of these board games just had excellent, like Don't Wake Daddy, just like the best commercials that would just weasel their way into your head. But that all of those games, they're all about spectacle, right?
Right.
Like, no one knows how the games of Grape Escape or Mousetrap are played. You know how to cut the grape people in half or set off the mousetrap, right? And you would set up the mousetrap, and then you would set it off, and then you would pack the game up and put it away. And I feel like that's the same like pleasure of Hungry Hungry Hippos. There's just no setup.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Yeah, that's true. You're just dumping a bunch of marbles in.
Right. When do you think is the last time you played Hungry Hungry Hippos?
I would guess that
And what color hippo were you?
Yeah. I would guess that I played it in an arcade. Like in I don't know if it was at like a Dave & Buster's or maybe it was some sort of like retro arcade thing. But you know, have you ever seen one of the big ones, arcade style?
Where you're like sitting on the hippo?
No, I've never seen one that big.
All right. So this 2-Bit Circus, it's now closed, but it was this place in downtown LA that had like arcades and sort of like escape room style like experiences and like VR and all that kind of stuff, they had one of these giant hungry hippos where you were like sitting on the back of the hippo, like pushing these giant levers.
No, I've never seen anyone one that big. No, it was more like maybe like tabletop size. Like
Yeah,
size of
okay.
a coffee table. So it was just a regular game of hungry hippos, except everything was bigger. Like the marbles were larger, the
Right.
hippos were larger, the lever was larger. That sounds fun though. Have you seen the like giant Pac-Man machines that they have?
Yes, those are fun. I like the giant Pac-Man machine. I also really like. Have you seen these? The like analog Pongs, like
No.
Pong, but like you're moving a dial and it's actually like moving a physical thing.
Oh, that's fun.
And,
Kind of
like,
like a foosball table.
It's like a foosball table, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And the ball is like it's obviously not like traveling freely. It's like on a like magnetic track under the board. But like it is a physical object being like bounced back and forth.
I don't know if they're still doing it, but in Singapore, they were having like a Pac-Man activation because Pac-Man had like a big anniversary,
Sure.
or is having a big anniversary, or something. Something with Pac-Man was happening.
Happy birthday, Pac-Man! We
Yeah.
salute you.
And they had like a real life Pac-Man maze where
Cool.
you were Pac-Man and there were people in big like ghost mascot costumes.
I love
that
this.
were going around the way. And I'm sure it was something where like the line must have been excruciating.
Right.
Like so slow, but the idea is super fun.
That is super fun. I would like to do that. But we're getting dangerously close to talking about Nintendo.
Oh,
I
you're
know
right.
I know
You're right.
Pac-Man
We're right
isn't,
on the
but
knife's edge.
But Hungry Hippos.
Yeah.
It feels like the kind of game that you agree to play with like a niece or nephew,
Totally.
and you're just like, "Yep, this is what we're doing now."
But I think even as an adult, it's fun, but fleeting fun.
Fleeting fun.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think it's almost impossible to get 4 people together to all play Hungry Hippos, and it's weird if you don't have all 4 hippos.
No, it's true.
In play. What are you going to control 2 of them? That's nonsense, Mark. Okay. Did we answer the question? Who knows? We were accompanied today by pianist Kyle Shaw. All right, Mark, let's get into the news.
So we have
Sorry. Sorry.
well, we have a couple of similar news items up front, which is
Is blank game coming to Switch?
yes.
Yeah.
Is Blank Gate coming to Switch? Because there's a rating for it.
Right?
So the first one of these is a new listing on the ESRB website, suggesting that the Disney Afternoon Collection will be coming to Switch and Switch 2. This was originally released on basically every other platform in 2017.
Right, and like a notable absence from Switch, right? Especially 2017. That's the year that the Switch came out. It was just like, yes, bring your games to Switch. They will sell.
Yeah.
And Capcom was just like, no thanks.
Yeah, it just...
Not interested.
Yes, even at the time, the discourse around this game was, why is this not on Switch? But maybe it will be in the future.
Might be.
So as a reminder, the games included in the collection are Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers 2, Darkwing Duck, DuckTales, DuckTales 2, and Tailspin, all for the NES.
Right. And like half of those are great games. But Mark, I just wanted to talk a little bit about how these various game titles are capitalized and or punctuated. Sometimes that is an obsession of ours on this show.
For sure.
And it is worth noting that Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers is the and of Chip 'n Dale is apostrophe N. That's it.
Can I ask, I've always wondered what the connection or lack of connection is between Chip and Dale
Right.
and Chippendales.
Right. And I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I mean, I assume that like it's just like a pun, right? That like Chippendales is a thing as a concept. And like, what is that? I know like Chippendale dancers.
Right, yeah.
Is that all that? I mean, so it's just like a troupe of sexy men who dance.
I think so.
Okay.
At one point, maybe it was a nightclub.
Maybe it was a nightclub. Maybe it was something a little bit
Yeah.
like more broad than just what we know it as now, which is Patrick Swayze and Chris Farley. But yeah, I assume it was just like a pun on that.
Yeah, I wonder. I have no answers.
Okay, but the point is,
Yes, right.
apostrophe N.
Uh-huh.
That's canonically how Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers is spelled. Darkwing Duck. Darkwing is one word. Duck is another word. Fine. Makes perfect sense. DuckTales is one word, intercapped at the T. Tails is obviously Tales. We're not talking about their duck tails, right? And then Tailspin, different tail, still one word, intercapped tail and spin.
I wonder how much of that was driven by legal considerations. Like maybe DuckTales as two words would be more difficult to trademark or like protect as a copyright than DuckTales is one word.
Right, because DuckTales, that could easily be the name of like a Donald Duck comic book series from a couple years prior, or like a Daffy Duck cartoon or something.
Right, exactly.
And then ditto Tailspin.
Right, they're just, yes, because they're on their own, they're not like particularly notable terms. Although I would have guessed that both DuckTales and Tailspin were two separate words.
They're not.
Yeah.
They're single words intercapped. And of course, Darkwing Duck is distinct enough that like no one's going to confuse that with anything.
Yeah. Interesting.
But anyway, all of those games are possibly coming to Switch. They're fun. Like the Disney Afternoon Collection is good. I played it on, I guess, PlayStation 4 when it came out. I remember that being one of the only games that I played in the PlayStation VR like theater mode.
Oh, uh-huh.
And just basically pretending that there's a 100-foot screen in front of me where I'm playing NES DuckTales on it. It was great.
That's really fun. I've never played DuckTales 2 before, or Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers 2. I've never played either of those.
They're both lesser versions of the previous installments, but pretty good. I would say that like the slam dunk ones here are the first Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers and Darkwing Duck, with of course the original DuckTales being like an all-timer, like among the top 20 NES games or whatever. Like it's as good as the best Mega Man games. Just a phenomenal game, killer music. And the rest of these games are no slouches either. I think my least favorite is probably Tailspin, but they're all good and they're all fun. And it's got rewind and like all that other stuff and a lot of like concept art. It's a digital Eclipse game, so they do a really nice job of packaging all of the ephemera around those games in addition to the games themselves.
So yeah, hopefully this one shows up. It'd be fun to add to my Switch collection. I didn't buy it on PlayStation, or anything like that.
Oh yeah, I will buy it again.
Another game that has been rated for Switch again. Yes, this has happened before. Is Hi-Fi Rush. So back in April of 2024, when developer Tango Gameworks was still part of Microsoft, I think technically like Bethesda, a rating for the game on Switch showed up on the PEGI website, which is the European Game Ratings Board. But even when Microsoft started aggressively porting their games to other consoles in 2024, nothing came of this one in particular. It was announced for PlayStation, but not for Switch.
And was sort of rumored to be among those,
totally.
Like that original salvo when they were like, we've got 4 games that we're going to be putting out on other platforms.
Oh, man. Do you remember that?
I do. Yeah, and that they had this like whole like a podcast to be like, don't worry.
Right.
We're not talking about Halo. We're not talking about Indiana Jones. But they totally were.
So that happened in 2024. And then this past week, another separate PEGI rating for the game on Switch has appeared, this time under Tango Gameworks' new owner, Crafton. So does this mean second time's the charm? Wither the Switch 2? Like, it's just rated for Switch? I don't know. The game itself was released in 2023 and is kind of, I would say, even though it's pretty new, is like a cult classic where you are fighting to like the beat of background music in a really colorful world. It's supposed to be cool. It would be cool to play this, but I don't know. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah, that is how the saying goes. But I mean, this is a different rating under a different. Like, it makes the narrative that you laid out of it was rated for Switch, and then Microsoft got rid of them, and so therefore was no longer had that same pipeline of publishing. Krafton is a big publisher. They're behind PUBG, but like that's not a very like. It's not a varied output. They don't have like the same sort of like inroads with Nintendo, and maybe some of that is just changing now, and they are figuring out how to publish their games on all the other platforms.
So this last one is not a game rating, and probably the least concrete of them all. But Blue Sky user Dutski discovered a new product code on the Nintendo account portal page. Okay, so if you go to your Nintendo account, you can look at consoles that are associated with you. Like, I have my OLED on there and my Switch 2, and it has like the serial number and a little illustration of an OLED and an illustration of the Switch 2. So what this person found is that like all of these images are associated with a product code.
Yes.
Corresponding to the system. And so asking like the Nintendo servers to say, hey, send me an image for this product code. If it has one, returns an image of that system. So for the Switch 2, the existing product code is BEE. So if you ask the system, if you like ping Nintendo and say, hey, what, like,
give me an image of BEE.
Give me the image for BEE. It shows you the illustration of a Switch 2.
It says buzz buzz. Here's the Switch 2.
Exactly.
Yes.
So there is a new product code in Nintendo's system for model OSM that when you ask for OSM, it sends you back the image of a Switch 2. What does this mean?
Puzzling. Concerning.
So OSM seemingly is a real product code, and this isn't just like a bug or something, because trying other codes return an error instead of an image. But something to note is that the different Switch models all share product codes. So they're HAE, HAD, HDH, and HEG. So they're similar in some way, right? They all start with H.
Right.
OS, like B, is the
so
current
and presumably those are like Switch Mark 1, Switch Mark 2,
right?
Switch OLED, and Switch Lite.
Yes, exactly. And then so B is Switch 2, and OSM is obviously not, like, they share nothing at all. So what does this mean?
Right. What is the OSM?
Yeah, is it, of course, an easy conclusion to jump to is that Nintendo is preparing a new model of some kind.
Seems crazy.
It does seem crazy.
It was so early in the console life cycle.
But
I would say if we're talking about a new console, like or a new like console revision at this time next year, maybe something will be on the horizon.
That would be on kind of the same timeline as the Lite.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That like Switch 2 Lite I could see hitting for like holiday 2027. That makes sense to me.
Right.
Right now we're just way too early to even think about this.
Well, it even seems early for like, the Switch's first quote unquote revision, which I think was like a more power efficient chip and like a bigger, so it had longer battery life, like that sort of thing.
A version of the Switch that you or I never owned.
No, never owned. And it wasn't like Nintendo announced it with great fanfare or anything. It just was slowly released, and that became the default model. But even that seems kind of early for a Switch 2.
Yeah, it does.
Although from like manufacturing timelines, the Switch 2 has been like being manufactured for a long time.
Right.
So I don't know. Nobody knows what this means. But it's an interesting data point. Makes the brain itch.
Let's keep playing with the part of the data point where it is so different from BEE. Right? Like I think it's sort of where you were leading with like all of the H's, HAE, HAD, HDH, and HEG. Why does this not start with, why is this not like BEM or something?
Right.
OSM sort of implies that it is a completely different thing entirely.
Yeah. So maybe it's just a mistake.
Maybe it's
it's a bug.
Maybe it's a bug. Do you think it's possible that there is like another thing or device or way of interacting with, like, does Nintendo have another thing out there that they are, not ready to show or tease or anything like that is like hardware related. I don't know if I spin off into my own like fantasy things of like, a legacy dual screen handheld, or like a TV only Switch 2 or, whatever. Like,
Right.
is it, could this be something like else and not a Switch 2 Lite or a Switch 2 OLED?
Right. Well, and to your point about like a TV only Switch 2, you would think it would still share some similarity in the
Yeah, maybe.
product code, if you're going by how they
Yeah.
handled the Switch. But yeah, like another piece of hardware that's related to the Switch 2. I don't even know what that could mean. Like I'm like, is the Virtual Boy thing?
Yeah, Virtual Boy 2.
Right. Like, well, but there is that like Virtual Boy.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. But that also works with the Switch.
That thing has no the Virtual Boy
has
has
no
no brains. It's
Yeah.
just a plastic shell.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah,
It's the meanest thing we've ever said about Virtual Boy.
we're generally very complimentary.
I know.
We don't want to hurt its feelings.
Right. I think it would just shatter it, frankly.
Yeah, I have no clue. I don't even know. I mean, it would be neat for them to have something like a new thing, but outside of like a kind of, like a NES mini type thing.
Right, it doesn't seem too likely.
It's just hard to imagine that they're going to do something that would distract them from working on the Switch 2 to like introduce a new handheld or something.
Right. I mean, with the only like caveat that I would add there, that like, we were just talking about how the Zelda DS games are like orphaned over there, and just like it's an insane thing, but like Nintendo has done insane things. Just if there was some kind of like legacy thing and just a way to sell those dual screen games again, because like you sort of can't, without really reworking them, you can't just resell the DS library. It's why we're probably not going to see it on Nintendo Classics. Maybe we will someday, but like it's just too weird of a thing.
Yeah, I think you can fit the resolution of a DS on just a Switch 2 screen.
Yeah, I mean, you kidding? The thing has terrible resolution. But it would just be like the way that they're oriented would be like side by side or like overlapping or something like that, or you actually like put them stacked on top of each other and then there's nothing on the left and right sides of the screen.
Right. Yeah.
Like you have to make weird compromises no matter what you do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, for those games specifically, maybe they will decide to remake them or something.
I think they would have to, yeah.
Like choose the ones they want to save.
What about this? What about the idea of like the peripheral that snaps on the top that is on the top of the Switch 2, because it has a USB-C port up there to do this, that is a second screen.
I mean, that'd be cool. It'd be cool if they have something like Labo-esque in the works, right?
Here we
something
go.
where we never expected this to be a way that the Switch 2 is going to be used.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I want surprises, and OSM, that could be our surprise.
That could be our surprise for sure. Nintendo and Lego, here's something concrete. Finally.
Yes, finally. This isn't a game, by the way.
Nintendo and Lego have confirmed that a new Legend of Zelda Lego set based on the final boss fight from Ocarina of Time is launching March 1st this year. It includes 3 minifigs, Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf, and also Hyrule Castle Wreckage and a giant Ganon.
The giant Ganon does look quite smart, I must say.
Yes.
It is a cool figure that you have to build from all these Legos together. Kind of a startling price point of $130, $129.99. I know that's just sort of like the cost of many piece Lego sets, but yeah, considering it's like Wreckage, a Ganon, and like 3 minifigs, feels like a lot.
Had a fun video introducing it, though.
Totally. And also, you and July, Diaz, and myself had a great conversation about the Zelda Ganon fights, and spent a lot of time discussing this one in particular. Check out that episode if you want to see where we ranked it. Yeah, it obviously is an iconic moment in games.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of like toys, last week Nintendo announced a partnership with Fisher Price to bring My Mario products outside of Japan. These include 3 play sets of Little People figures.
So yeah, Mark, do you have much experience with the Little People figure? So usually these were like a construction guy, a sailor, whatever. These little plastic figures with big heads that you could then like. Yeah,
okay.
I think you probably know these guys. They're doing this, but with Mario characters.
So there's 2 sets,
3 sets.
3 sets.
Yes.
6 toy figures with Mario, Luigi, Princess Peach, Toad, Yoshi, and Bowser.
That's the first set.
Bowser's airship and figure set, and then the adventure play set,
which also comes with a Mario.
And
these look cute. They look cute.
Yeah, they do. I guess like, does this mean that they're not planning to bring the wooden block My Mario toys here?
An excellent question.
I mean, they talked about the My Mario line having participating partners, so maybe like the block toys are Nintendo and these are coming from Fisher Price or something like that.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, I'm not going to buy any of these, but I hope we get the wood block toys just because otherwise everything's plastic and it's like, let's have like a little variety and stop like shoving plastic in kids' faces. But also, I don't have any evidence that these Fisher Price guys are amiibo.
Oh, that is such a strong point.
The wood block toys are amiibo.
Compelling.
These are, and honestly, thank God these aren't.
Because then you may have
interest in buying them.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite of the of the Fisher Price Little People Mario guys here?
I think my favorite is Bowser because he looks nonplussed to be there. Like he looks surprised that he's a little minifig.
Yeah, as though like being a mini guy is like that's a fate that has befallen him. I like the Yoshi just because his arms. It doesn't seem like his arms should be that long.
That's true. They are cute. Finally, the Arcade Attack podcast recently had former Sega of Japan producer Ryoichi Hasegawa as a guest, and one of the stories he told was about working with Nintendo on the Mario and Sonic the Olympic Games series. According to Hasegawa, during development, some of the key art for the game showed Sonic's foot ahead of Mario's, like presumably in a race. And according to him, Nintendo demanded it be changed so Mario's foot was ahead.
Wonderful petty stuff from Nintendo
yes,
here.
I believe it.
I believe it as well. If you notice, like the like cover art for a lot of these have Mario and Sonic like running at the camera. And in the most recent release, they appear to be in a dead heat, or it's like an unperceivably close race. Mark, you realize that we are like a month away from a Winter Olympics about to start?
Right? Yeah.
Sarah and I were realizing this just today that we were like, oh God, are there Olympics? There should be Olympics this year, right? So like interesting thing there, but sort of makes me sad that like the whole Mario and Sonic at the Olympics thing is just like totally dead and gone.
I know. There was one for 2020, like Japan, I think.
But that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the last one.
Because it actually came out in 2020 and the Olympics did not.
Right. I actually think it might have come out in 2019.
Or maybe it came out in 2019. You're right.
Well, it was definitely at E3 2019 because we played it right at Nintendo's booth.
We played a surfing game.
But yeah, I kind of it's funny to me that when they were in development with this, obviously, to have Mario and Sonic, when it happened to have them in the game together was a huge deal.
Right.
And, Nintendo really pressing their advantage because they were in the Wii era, so they could make Sonic do whatever they wanted. Nintendo said jump and Sonic said how high.
Sonic
not
said
as high
how,
as Mario.
Yeah, that's right. How fast? Not as fast as Mario.
Let's be honest. We do know that in a foot race, Sonic
is going to win.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, like, no question. It doesn't matter what power-up you give Mario. It also doesn't matter what vehicle you put Mario in.
No.
Sonic's going to be faster.
Yep.
Who jumps higher? Who knows? Maybe Mario. Who throws fireballs further?
Mario.
Mario.
He's got that one locked up.
Do you think Sonic can use a fire flower to toss fireballs?
No, I don't.
Think that's he's just locked out from that ability.
I think so. Yeah. I don't think it works across like franchises.
Yeah, I think that's probably right.
Except for Kirby.
Well, right, Kirby can do anything, and he's the king of crossing franchises, right? They should put Kirby in every game that comes out.
They should. I mean, it would be unfair to put Kirby in Mario and Sonic the Olympics game because Kirby would just have to win every event.
Right, because he would just suck up the most powerful, or the most talented player.
Exactly.
Get their hair or something.
And then take off.
Yeah. All right, Mark, let's get out of the news. Really nervous the music cue wasn't going to work. That's going to do it for this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society. If you are not in our Discord, you should email us, and I will send you an invitation. Anthony DeLuca made our logo. Our theme music is provided by 8-Bit Betty. You can get more of his music by going to 8bitbetty.com or by listening right now. For my co-host, Mark Mitchell, this is Patrick Eller saying thank you for listening.